وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. Now the next item is al-adab, and the personal manner, the right manner, how you conduct yourself, and it's very important, the good manner, the adab we call in Arabic. Adab in Arabic, like adab Arabic, the Arabic adab or adab al-Arabi, to express yourself in Arabic language in a linguate way, in a nice way, in perfect, correct way, and choose the right words and the right phrases. The adab, the best adab, he's saying, is to copy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he said in the hadith, أدبني ربي فأحسن تأديبي. The hadith here in Allah Azza wa Jal, أدبني فأحسن تأديبي. Although they say it's a weak hadith, but it is the common sense that Allah Azza wa Jal is the one who looked after Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in nearly every aspect, and he taught him the knowledge, and he taught him the manner, and he taught him, gave him the wisdom, he gave him the insight, the perseverance, and the mercifulness, and all sort of things. So if you copy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's manner, how he reacted to people. Now this guy, when he said to him, we're talking about this guy who said to him, be just. So few Sahaba took the sword. How you insult the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you claim that he's not just? And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't say anything to him. He said, if I don't act in a just way, who will? I'm representing Allah Azza wa Jalla on earth. Like when this guy came and urinated in the mosque, the Prophet ﷺ came to him and he said, this place is built for such dirty things. They're not built for, they're built for reciting the name of Allah, for praying, for teaching and things. So the adab of the Prophet ﷺ, the way he reacted, like when the Jewish came and said to him, Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, like poison and that and things on you, instead of saying Assalamu alaikum. Aisha radiallahu anha was standing there. She said, alaikum, poison, alaikum, with this and cares of Allah. He said, no. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said to him, alaikum. So whatever you meant with Bassam was alaikum, and on you as well. And he said to him, you don't need that. Have you heard me what I said? Whatever he meant by his word, I just said alaikum. So you don't need to go and act as bad as he does. So we are refrained by the adab of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We shouldn't exceed the manner Islam expects from us. And that's, subhanAllah, the many Muslims, they don't care about this, and they go and shout and scream and curse and say the language was. I wrote this article in the newspaper, I put on Facebook, and few supposed to be friends, what sort of rubbish, what sort of, hey, are you talking about, what sort of, and then even worse words, they used. So you don't expect this from your enemy. So like Dr. Nasim Chaudhry once, he said, if you have similar friends like this, who needs enemies? If you have friends like this, who needs enemy? When he reacted at the September 11, in the right way, he reacted, and he was answering correctly and things. And there were a lot of people were shouting him down, and I don't know whether you listen to these things. Nasim Chaudhry is the one in charge of the Central Mosque, and they were shouting him down and things. And so he said, if you have friends like this, whoever have friends like this, who needs enemies? And subhanAllah, he died a few years ago now. So look at the adab of the Prophet ﷺ. Allah Azza wa Jal described him when he went to Mi'raj. Although he was a lot of things around him, Allah Azza wa Jal said about him, مَا زَاغَ الْبَصَرُ وَمَا طَغَى. He was focused on the mission he was going and talking to Allah Azza wa Jal, going to meet Allah Azza wa Jal. He was focused there, but he didn't exceed his limits. What is that? What is that? Like, sometimes you go to a friend's house and, oh, what's in that room? Oh, what's in that room? Oh, I wonder what. You're not supposed to. You go in there, you go there, you go to the, the living room in the right, you turn to the right. What about over there? Some people deliberately go, and I want to use the loo to go and have a look into the kitchen. That ما زاغ البصر, he was focused, but he wasn't curious, over curious. What's in there? What's that, Jibreel? What's that? He didn't. If you look into the seerah when he went, he wasn't asking. He went to he met the prophets, and then he asked when Jibreel told him. So Musa alayhi salatu wasalam is different. Why you made a hole in the in the boat? Although he told him, فَلَا تَسْأَلْنِي عَنْ شَيْءٍ حَتَّى أُحْدِثَ لَكَ مِنْهُ ذِكْرًا. Don't ask him about anything at all until I tell you. In spite of that, he couldn't remain. This is why he's Sayyid al-Mursaleen. That's why Muhammad ﷺ is the master of all the prophets, the master of all mankind. And Sayyid waladi Adam wala fakhr, he said. I'm the master, the leader of the sons of Adam, and I'm not like, showing off about it. And so Allah Azza wa Jalla described him, ما زاغ البصر وما طغى. He was within the right manner, the good manner. He never swerved to the right or the left, and he never went wrong. He never exceeded what he is supposed to see. And they said adab is to know where you are, with who you are, and stick to your manner. This is how you behave if you are in the palace. This is how you behave if you are in a board, meeting the board and things. It's how you behave when you go to an interview. When I went to my job interview, the manager said to me, you were the only person who are really dressed for the occasion. And then when I went out and saw this one coming for the interview, I thought, when you're coming to interview, you're not coming to show your culture in your country, or you're not going to show that, you don't show off with you. No, dress for the occasion, and speak according to who is there. If it's your children, you speak different than when you have guests, when you have the leader of this, the country, the leader of the house, the leader of this. And Allah Azza wa Jalla said, قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا. And in tafsir, and Abdullah ibn Abbas said, protect yourself and your family from fire, which is the rest of the ayah, وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ, the fuel is people and stones. He said, give them the knowledge, and أَدِّبُوهُمْ, teach them the manner. You don't talk like this in front of your granddad or grandmom or the guest or the neighbor. You say this to the neighbor. You say this is the way you talk to the tiller, even taxi driver, even bus conductor. They need to be taught the manner. And this hadith, one of the narrator of the hadith, Ghannam, apparently, حدثنا غنام, and Aisha radiallahu anha, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the rights of the child upon his father, that he choose the right name for him, and he choose the right mother or breastfeeding mom, and he teach him the right manner, the good manner. So this is the right, on every child from the father. So if the son doesn't behave, you can't tell a lot about their parents. Now in the school, I can say, and most of the time it's right, you get a child who's all over the place, or in the salah or in the assembly, and you say, oh, probably his father and mother never prayed at home. He never saw them praying, because he's all over the place, he's just moving here, moving there. And so this is the right, you choose the right name for him. And the Prophet ﷺ did change names of some Sahaba because they were totally inadequate, and Abdul Shams, and give the wrong meaning. And Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib said, من لا يعرف ما لله عز وجل عليه في نفسه ولم يتأدب بأمره وفيما كان فيه من الأدب ونهيه كان من الأدب في عزلة. If you don't know the right of Allah عز وجل, if you don't know what Allah Azza wa Jalla expects from you, and you are not following the right manner as Allah expects you to behave, and you leave what He forbids for you, you have no manner at all. Sheikh Yusri Jabal mentioned من جاءك إذا جاءكم من ترضون دينه وخلقه فزوجوه. If somebody come, you accept his understanding to the religion, his fiqh, his behavior, and his manner, وخلقه, his characters. If he has the right characters, marry him, your daughter. So he said, like, the khuluq, the manner, is equal to the deen, and sometimes is used as a replacement. خلقه. So Aisha was asked, how was the khuluq, the manner of the Prophet ﷺ? She said, كان خلقه القرآن. His manner was in keeping with all what Allah mentioned in the Quran, like walking Quran. So the manner, Abu Ali al-Daqqaq said, العبد يصل بطاعته إلى الجنة وبأدبه في طاعته إلى الله. So you reach with your applying Sharia, Shahada, and Salah, Som, you get to Jannah, but with your manner you reach Allah Azza wa Jal. You become very close to Allah because of your manner, your politeness, the way you ask Allah Azza wa Jal. And he said, he saw, somebody in the prayer, because he is so polite with Allah Azza wa Jal, he needed to get, rub something, face or his nose. He wouldn't. We'll leave it till he finished Salah, because he feel embarrassed in front of Allah Azza wa Jal to blow his nose or take something from the bucket or move. You have the right, if you move less than 3 movements, continuous movement, you don't break your Salah. But some people don't even make one movement. I notice people like this really better than me. That's so adab with Allah Azza wa Jal. I'm with him, with Allah, I'm really behaving in the right manner. And then he said he saw Abu Ali al-Daqqaq, he doesn't lean on anything. So he's not leaning, and he thought that I would put a pillow behind him so he could lean. Probably the chair is too big. So he noticed that he leaned a bit more. Then he thought that probably the pillow has no cover. So he went and put a cover to the pillow, because, he will lean. He said to him, I don't lean on anything. I want to be really the right manner with Allah Azza wa Jal, teaching His book and things. So I wouldn't go and lie there and put my leg on and cross his legs and things. And no, it would be like, before of some, big king and things. And سمعت جلال البصري يقول التوحيد, believing in the monotheistic belief, believe La ilaha illallah, necessitate that you acquire the iman, believe in Allah's angels, books, day of judgment, and messengers, and qada and qadar. And if you don't have iman, then your tawheed is not correct. And iman will make you follow sharia, because you're going back to Allah Azza day of judgment. And if you have no sharia, you're not following salah and zakah and hajj correctly, then you don't have iman and you don't have tawheed. You don't have monotheistic belief. And the sharia obliges you to be polite, right manner, right attitude. If you don't have the right manner, you don't have sharia or iman or tawheed. Because nothing restricting you and making you mu'addab, like, good manner. Now,
the hadith you read before about the rights of the father on the child, to have
right of the child on the father.
Yeah, to give him the right name.
Yeah.
That was like the father has to give the son the right name. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, you have to choose the right name. Like they chose in the Arab sometimes, they use the name Sabah. Sabah could be male and female, but mostly females.
And also the next point was nursing mother. Was it about mentioning about that before marriage he gets the right wife for that, or is it about because that time the children were sent for nursing to mothers as well, like Prophet Sallallahu
Both. It's because the milk, the breastfeeding affect the child, the motherly bonds, and but you need to choose the right wife who is obviously expected to give you
So that includes
children.
hadith, yeah.
So you need, but sometime the wife dies or the wife doesn't breastfeed and things, so you rely on a breastfeeding mother, like Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam breastfed by Halima. So Halima was the right choice for him. Allah Azza wa Jal chose her, and obviously became Muslim. But they're talking about the milk actually. The milk carries characters more than gamma globulin. It carries stem cells and things, and so there's a lot of influence, even genetically, on the child.
Back in the days, they've been looking always, even like any newborn baby, they're looking for somebody to feed him. So it's like no sign of wealth or tribe as well. Like not the only mother who can feed him. They're always looking for somebody else to feed him.
Me who? The Arab, you mean?
Yeah, no.
Yes, yeah. Yes, in the past.
Yeah,
because now the powder milk made things easier for people. But before, like we were living next door to my auntie, and all my brothers and sisters breastfed by her, and my mum breastfed her children, because she wants to go to town. She leave us with her, and she breastfeed us. And Ibn Ata said, الأدب الوقوف مع المحسنات. And he said, أن تعامل مع الله بالأدب سرا وعلنا. So you need to deal with Allah Azza wa Jal in the right manner, whether you are on your own or whether you are with people. فإذا كنت كذلك كنت أديبا وإن كنت أعجميا. You will be, you have the right manner, even if you are a foreign to the Arabic language. And he said here, منذ 20 سنة, Abdullah Jariri saying, for 20 years I never stretched my legs in front of my students. So he was teaching, or no, not my students, in Khalwa, when he is with Allah Azza wa Jal. He never stretched his legs. He always sit like if he's sitting in tashahhud. And من صاحب الملوك بغير أدب, if you befriend leaders and the rulers and the kings and things, and you don't have the right manner, you could end being killed. And Ibn Sirin said, معرفة بربوبيته وعمل بطاعته والحمد لله على السراء والصبر على الضراء. Which manner will bring you closer to Allah Azza wa Jal? He said, you acknowledge His Godship, He is the God, and do what He asks you to do, obey Him, and thank Allah Azza wa Jal secretly and openly, and persevere when there is hardship. You go through hardship. So you thank Allah when you go through easiness, and be patient when you go through difficulties. And if a person who is close to Allah Azza wa Jal went out of the right manner and the good manner, you could end being a loser with the rest of the losers. And the Ustad Ibn Daqaq said, if you don't follow the good manner, if you don't act in a good manner, that's enough to kick you out of the class, like the muridin. And قيل الحسن البصري قد أكثر الناس فيعلم الآداب فما أنفعهم عجبا. He said that تفقه في الدين والزهد في الدنيا والمعرفة بما الله عز وجل. Knowing the right manner, you will reach it by knowing the religion and belittle the dunya and know Allah Azza wa Jal, what you are obliged to do for Him, and you do it. So you need fiqh, and you need not to be attached to dunya, and you need to know the rights of Allah Azza wa Jal. And if you follow the adab of Allah Azza wa Jal, manner expected from you in the Quran, then you will be loved to Allah Azza wa Jal. القوم الذين استعانوا بالله على أمر الله وصبروا على آداب الله. Those who are of the right manner are those who ask Allah Azza wa Jal for help and follow the orders of Allah Azza wa Jal and persevere with doing the things which Allah Azza wa Jal expects them to do. And Abdullah ibn Mubarak said that our need for the right manner and the good manner is sometimes more than our need for knowledge. You need to have good manner, and then people will teach you and you acquire the knowledge after that. And Ibn al-Mubarak, he said, طلبنا الأدب فإن فاتنا المؤدبون وقيل ثلاث فصال ليس معهن غربة. Three things you will not be loser if you leave them. If you leave people who are the people of rape, like people who are in the gray area. I mean, like if you go and sit in a pub, I'm drinking Coca-Cola, I'm not drinking alcohol, and I'm not smoking, but everybody around you is smoking. People see you from outside, they would say, oh, we saw him in the pub. So if you avoid the doubtful location, the doubtful areas, the gray areas, you're fine. If you mix with people, it's like, there's a group of people dancing and you go there. I'm not dancing, I'm just saying Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. But you reach that doubtful situation. Prophet Muhammad was in i'tikaf, and his wife Safiya came to ask him a couple of things, and it was near midnight. So he walked with her to her room, because her room is the door on the mosque. So two of the Ansar, they were there. They tried not to make the Prophet see them because they don't want to show that we saw you with a woman. And he said to them, hold on, don't hurry. Yeah, don't hurry. This is your mother, Safiya. And they said, oh, we'll never doubt that, we have no doubt about you. We never thought that you're... He said, in the shaitan go through the son of Adam like the blood go through his body. Because 5 years later, remember on the day when we saw the Prophet, walking with the woman? He said, don't put yourself in these situations. دع ما يريبك إلى ما لا يريبك. There's a hadith, بحسب امرئ من the hadith, رحم الله امرأ جب المغيبة عن نفسه. May Allah Azza wa Jal bless a man or a person who will avoid being in a situation when people start talking about, oh, we saw him, was by a betting machine, or he was like, in a situation. Because you don't leave this to people to talk about you. Oh, we saw him driving with a woman sitting next to him we know his wife with hijab, this lady was not hijab. A couple of times I needed there's no way you have to take the community nurse with you. Do you mind sitting in the back? Why? I feel happy, you sit in the back behind me. It's like if I'm a taxi driver. When I bought from you, I think the BMW, the silver one, I was collecting you or collecting Marwan from the station, and somebody opened the door and he said, to Solihal, please. He thought I was a taxi driver. I put myself in that situation. BMW standing by the railway station, by the door. So people say, oh, we saw him, working as taxi driver. وحسن الأدب, the right manner, and refrain from harming people. I think we'll stop here. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wasallam. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. You've got the message. The good manner is very important, and sometimes is as important, more important than having the knowledge, or having the Sharia, or having the Iman. Because people will start doubting. I don't think he's a good Muslim. I don't think he's start doubting that he's a Muslim even. And I had it. I went to police stations and they said, oh, he said so. He was here from midday, he never prayed. So they know Muslim pray Zuhur and Asr and Maghrib. He never prayed. So he was foul language. So we don't think he's a Muslim. They straight away strip him of Islam. And some other people say, oh, these are the terrorists. I told you. So it will be either bringing the harm or the shame.